Chris is with us in Dallas, Texas to start this hour. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm a high school senior right now taking just kind of a personal finance class. And I was just wondering if you're concerned about how, the national debt reaching $30 trillion and how that should affect just our overall personal finance strategy.
Well, I'm sorry, as a high school senior, you're having to worry about such things. I've got a long history of fretting and alternately being angry about the national debt being out of control, mainly because it represents a Congress that's out of control, and we don't seem to have the backbone in the American people to vote the bozos out. So they keep spending like there's no tomorrow. And everybody's a little bit lazy about it, so it just keeps going and going and going. So, yeah, I'm with you. It's bothersome. It's obviously there's a tipping point somewhere. I will tell you that the end of the world has been predicted as long as I can remember due to the national debt or due to whatever other boogeyman you want to come up with. And I actually read a book when I was a little bit older than you called Bankruptcy 1984 that predicted that the national debt was going to hockey stick and the nation would collapse in 1984. Obviously, that was wrong. There was another book that a friend of mine wrote called The Coming Economic Earthquake, predicting the exact same thing in the same decade. He was wrong. I had another friend of mine wrote a book about the end of the world due to Y2K. Do you know what that is, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah.
Year 2000.
Yeah, exactly. When the computers all turned over, the world was going to come down, and we were a little bit worried that the entire electronic grid would collapse, and a lot of people bought water and bullets and all kinds of things to get ready for the end times. And the New Year's Eve came and went, and nothing happened except 3 days later the stock market went through the roof up. And so I have honestly, I'm not making fun completely, but I look back on all the things I've worried about and none of them have happened. So I think it's bad because I think it represents a lack of discipline on the American people's part and on our quote unquote representatives' part. I think it's pitiful. It's outrageous. But does it affect my investing? Not a dime. Not a dime. I don't sit and worry about it. I invest based on good long-term track records because the debt's been out of control as long as I've been alive. And so I've been investing and investing and investing. If it ever absolutely fell in on itself, there's not anything you could have invested in except bullets that would protect you. So I wouldn't fret about it. And the next time someone comes to me, and one of the other things I'll just as a side note for our listeners out there and for Jade may not know this about me. It is one of the things I have vowed that when I get old, I am not going to be one of those financial guys that writes an end times book. Because most people in my world, we go along, we teach people to get wealthy, we teach them about all this, and then we get enough knowledge that this stuff starts concerning us, and so we write the end of the world book, and it's coming soon, usually when we get old. And I've just vowed I'm not, even if I'm tempted, I'm not going to write it. As a matter of fact, I've even told my publishing team to refuse to publish it if I did write it. So
if you have a moment,
keep me from making the mistake of doing it to myself.
burn the manuscript. Throw it in the fire.
Just it apparently takes more than a single president being a moron, because we've had multiple of that. It takes more than I think it takes to collapse this thing called America. Yeah. And, I remember thinking that when X or Y president got elected way back there, like before some of you were born, that was it. That's a sign it's over.
Yeah.
Jesus is coming, and he didn't, and we didn't die, and the nation survived the idiocy in the White House.
That's true. And
the lack of morality in the White House, and the whatever in the White House. We'll survive whatever we're going through right now. It's just we're
That's
more
true.
resilient than I think we are in the middle of the night when we wake up scared.
That's a really good point, Dave. I do think that we're resilient as people and also as a nation. And a lot of this stuff is so cyclical. The sky is falling and then somebody comes and does, one or two things that are just, whatever. And everybody does a big deep breath. And then somebody else comes and they spend more. And it's like, I think all this stuff just goes in a big wheel. And, for your own peace, sometimes you just got to let it remain external and not let it get into you so much.
Yeah. And when you look back on it, you go, it was a lot bigger deal in my head.
Yeah. I mean, you talk to somebody who lived during the Great Depression.
Yeah. That was real.
Yeah. I find in moments like this, when you just look back and go, okay, it gives you a little bit of perspective to go, okay, this is not any crazier than any other moment in history. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think what is different is access to conspiracy theories.
Facts. It's the social media.
The internet, because it used to be you had to really work to find kooks.
That's right.
And now they are delivered to you because you've been looking at other kooks, and so the algorithm sends you a whole list of kooks.
Oh, it'll just put it up in your feed.
You done got stuck in the kooky algorithm, and you're going to get lit up with kooks. And
That's right.
If you think the world's coming to an end and you type that in about 3 times, you're going to have a lot of incoming end-time stuff showing up on your desktop, and all of a sudden you're going to start to believe the dadgum world's coming to an end. And it's the same thing as, again, when I started all of this a million years ago, we didn't have the inputs. The moral of the story is, there is a moral to the story. We're going to finally get there. Watch your inputs.
That's so good, Dave.
You become what you consume and who you hang around with.
Yep.
So are you watching the news 24/7?
Right.
You're going to be pissed off all the time.
Because it used to just be that. It was Fox News, MSNBC, and
It used to be Walter Cronkite, and you had to wait till 6 o'clock.
Well, then there's that
That
too.
was it. And then you got 24/7.
24/7.
And then you got 24/7 both sides of the political spectrum.
Yep.
Yelling at each other.
Yep. And now you got YouTube, Instagram, and it's not even real news outlets anymore.
No,
it's just
Biff
telling you.
It's not even real news. The stuff that we call news now, we used to call tabloid.
Oh, true that. I can go on there and make news, and somebody'd listen to me.
Well, there you go. You cause a little ruckus there.
I might have to. Only I'll tell you the truth. I won't be out here telling you fake news. I'll tell you the truth.
This is the Ramsey Show.